though some people say when you hear about Trump, you want to go to Canada. But I'm going to challenge your memory a little bit. At the beginning of our festivities, there was reference in history to all the different times that the Irish engaged in revolution, and then there was jokingly almost reference to when people from America, Irish from America, invaded Canada, and there was kind of a laugh like, what a silly thing to do. Well, that was my great-great-grandfather, I'll have you know, and it worked pretty well. And I'm telling you, I'm also telling my 11-year-old son, and all who's sitting right here, and my other sons as well, because actually, true story, the Irish who invaded Canada were hardened fighters in the Union Army, and very good at strategy, and were doing rather well until the British government said a word to the President of the United States. But actually, when you have revolution, as was referenced in the beginning remarks, there were about 6 or 7 revolutions before one succeeds. So practice makes perfect. And make sure whenever you're working for justice that you continue. And that's what I want my 11-year-old to know. A week ago, my father suffered a very serious health setback, and now he's back up with joking around with the nurses, but he always told this story about how our ancestors did fight for Irish freedom from American shores, and I think that's part of this story that we always need to remember. It doesn't matter if you're Catholic or what color you are. A lot of the best revolutionaries were actually Protestants who were in power, but believed in Irish freedom and believed in that cause. And it didn't matter even if you lived in Ireland. One of the most Irish cities, as John Lennon said, was Liverpool, and Lennon and McCartney were Irish people who both supported the cause of Irish freedom and both supported the thought that you think for yourself. And I think that's a core of what Irishness is about. And of course, all of us remember our president, John Kennedy, who spoke for freedom for small nations, as was referenced, and also was someone who said in our own country, in the cause of civil rights, that we would speak out for those who were left out. And my grandmother, Kathleen Patrice Moira O'Flanagan, she always said that when somebody's on the losing end of a fight, when somebody's getting the short end of a bargain, we get on their side and we fight. And that's what I tell you, where we end up with Mr. Trump. Because when we hear somebody bullying against Mexicans or bullying against Muslims, if you're really Irish, doesn't matter if you're Jewish or whatever you are, if you really have the Irish spirit, you stand up to a bully. And that is what the Irish cause is about. You stand up to bullies. That is what it means to be Irish. And don't ever forget it. It doesn't matter who the victim is, we stand up against the bullies. So hear that, Mr. Trump.